Sunday night church, everyone. My name is Jenny. I hang out with the kids here at church. So you guys are my kids tonight. No, I was just kidding. I would like to say a warm welcome if tonight is your first time here. If you are here for the first time, can you be brave and wave your hand? We have a little prezi for you. We have a free coffee card. You can't get it after church. You have to come back to get it. Sorry. Awesome. Wyatta is hooking you up with a free trip to Hawaii. I don't know. I used to live in Hawaii, and seeing Wyatta with that Hawaiian shirt all day has just made my day. Anyway, awesome. Welcome. We are so glad you're here, and come say hi to us at the end. Yeah. Here we are. I need my notes, please. I'm just realizing I kind of need those. Here we go. Yeah, I do. Thank you, Andrew. Anticipating my needs as always. All right. I get to talk about something I am ridiculously passionate about. This is probably one of the things that excites me more than anything. Well, God excites me the most, but this is the second thing. I was with the students a few weeks ago, and I proposed this question to them. I said, what makes your heart sing? What is it? And they all went around and shared some awesome things. But the first thing that came to my mind was worship. What makes my heart sing, what I get passionate about, is worship. And so tonight, we're going to talk about why worship. Okay? You guys, this is going to be a fun one. I'm pretty excited about this. We've got some funny stories about my childhood, so here we go. Yeah. My parents were both infertile this is a great way to start the night, for 7 years. Like doctors, they've done every test known to man, and they both of them, it was impossible to have a child. So for 7 years, my parents had prophetic words. I'm already crying. I haven't cried on the Sunday night message for ages. Okay. But God had prophetic words over them. They had dreams. Like my dad would have a dream of a little girl wearing a yellow dress on a swing with blonde hair. They knew they were going to have a girl one day. They tried for 7 years. Nothing's happening. So they decided to become missionaries and live at the Thailand-Cambodia border just when the Pol Pot regime was going on, and there's mass exodus with the Cambodians coming across the Thailand border, and they worked in one of the biggest refugee camps to existence at that stage. And they just served. They just loved. And a miracle happened. And I am that miracle, but thanks. No, but this is the thing. That dream came to be, and my parents went to, they thought, okay, there's people having babies in this camp all the time. Might as well have Jenny in this Cambodian refugee camp. So technically I could have been Thai, which would have been epic. But anyway, so they decided we're just going to have her here. But then God said, no, you need to leave. And so they're like, you want us to move back to America and pay how much to have a baby? But they believed in God and they went. But then there was complications when a time came for me to come into this world. And if my parents would not have been obedient to have gone back, my mom and I would have both died in that Cambodian refugee camp. When my mom was pregnant with me, she was in a service, and this prophet came up to her and said, the child in your belly is a worshiper. She's called to worship. There's a lot of things the enemy did not want me to be here. There was a lot of odds going against me. But God wanted me here. This is why I'm passionate about worship, because it's my testimony of what he's done in my life. I celebrate. I'm thankful. I have gratitude in my heart because I exist. And that's what gets me fired up. Worship is a really big topic. You could talk about it for weeks and weeks and weeks. Worship is not just something we do when we sing or just what we just did now, but worship is a way of life. It's giving all of ourselves to God as a sacrifice to him. But I'm going to kind of talk a little bit more about when we're in corporate worship together tonight. God created us out of love when he created the earth. The Trinity were hanging out one day. They said, we really love each other, but we can't handle just this anymore. We have to share it with someone else. So they created the earth, and they created us. God isn't just a man, even though we like to portray him as a man. But when God created the earth, he created man and he created woman in a reflection of him, in a picture of the closest we can get to him. It's not just a man, it's also a woman. When I think about how when God created the earth, this is just a thought, okay? I could be totally wrong, but this is what I was thinking the other day. When you think of a woman who's pregnant and is about to give birth, she's creating something in her stomach. A woman was created to be a creator or to host creation. So when we think of the creator God, I think that reflects the mother heart of God. When he created the earth, see, I said he there. When God created the earth and he created man and woman, that was the mother heart of God. What does a mom do? She goes crazy and builds like beds and paints things and makes things beautiful, makes the home beautiful. She creates this thing within her. That reflected the mother heart of God because they loved us and they wanted to share it with us. When they made us to reflect them. So if we're supposed to reflect what the Godhead looks like, I began to kind of think through mankind in that way. But it's kind of like this. So we reflect him, we're mirrors. So God, obviously, when we worship, we have music and we sing, right? So did he just create that just so we only sing to him? Because if you look at a mirror, it's two ways, right? So that means God created music, and he's also singing over us. So we sing to him, he's singing over us. We're reflecting back. We dance to him, he's dancing over us. It reflects back. We're funny because he's funny. Do you guys realize God is funny? You guys have this crazy story. When I, a few years ago, was in this like worship session at like someone's house. It was just a bunch of us just worshiping Jesus and going ballistic, which was just epic. I am just full on worshiping God, and my foot gets glued to the floor, okay? Like literally, I'm just like, my foot cannot move. And I was like, why can my foot not move? And then I suddenly go, okay, God, what are you doing here? And I honestly felt God just giggling and going, haha, this is a fun game. And I started laughing hysterically because I honestly was like, felt like God was saying, we're not there yet. This slide. Is that okay? I'm not there yet. Anyway, my foot is like glued to the floor and I'm giggling like crazy. And then like, I felt God say, I just want to play with you. Let's have fun. And it broke this thing in my mind where it's like God is this super serious God. He needs to be holy, he needs to be worthy. But why would he make us all goofballs and weirdos if he's not like that too? God is funny. We reflect that back to him. We have to worship. We have to sing to him because it says that if we don't, even the rocks will cry out. The earth is groaning. The earth is singing back to its creator, God. We were made to reflect him and worship. I need Alex. Come on up. This is a picture of what worship is. Worship is like a dance, okay? So Alex is going to be God in this situation, okay? So I just need you. We're just gonna sway. This is good, eh? She didn't really know this was going to happen. We're just going to go like this. Now, keep in time. Just keep that beat. Come on. Just get that beat. Go. Yeah? Okay. Now, am I in tune? Am I in the rhythm with her when I'm like... Not really, eh? Worship is this. It's that moment when we suddenly keep swaying. This moment when we finally go, I want to get in rhythm with you, God. My crazy way, I'm such a crazy person, but my crazy way, it's stopping and aligning myself to his rhythm, to his heartbeat. It's saying we're one. Like if we honestly entered a dance, keep going, entered this dance competition and she's like doing that. Yeah, no, we wouldn't win. But the whole thing with two dancers is they become one. They think what the other person thinks and they become in sync and they move together. That is what worship does. You're amazing, thank you. It connects us with his heart rhythm, his dance, his song, his heart of love for us. As we sing out our worship to him, it brings us close to him. It draws us close to become one beat together. If that is the case, then we need to worship him even when we don't feel like it. I have this story. My brother is a pastor in Canada. Okay, get this. He uses me as examples all the time. Like, I was a bad sister. Okay, I was mean. All right, so he uses me all the time. And I went to visit him a few years ago, and, like, literally the whole church was like, that's her? Like, so anyway, tonight's payback. Justin, if you're watching, here we go. All right, growing up, my brother and I, we were homeschooled for, I know. It explains a lot, doesn't it? We were homeschooled, okay? And so what we would do is, just for my college age, which even explains more. So we were homeschooled, and we would have breakfast, and I really, really liked to be alone. I did not like him around. He was high physical touch. I was highly not. He literally just had to be like on me, and he was just so close all the time. He just had to be with me no matter what. He was so annoying. It was great. So as soon as breakfast was finished, it was like, boom, now's the time. I'm gonna run. Can you put up that photo of my brother and I? Just the two of us. Isn't he cute? Anyway. So I literally would run to my room as fast as I could because I knew if I could get to my room and I could lock the door, I would be safe. But the lock was one of those push locks that just needed a little bit of oil, and you had to put your whole body into it to like lock it. So I was like, finish the cereal, book it to my room, and he would just be right behind me. I'm gonna make it to her room because if I make it into her room, I'm in her room. And even if she locks the door, I'm there. So we're going to have the day together. It's going to be awesome. So I would be booking it, I'd be running, and I would always win. But then came the day. It was a Christmas morning, and my parents bought him a football helmet. So came the day. Breakfast was finished. It was time to run to my room. I ran as fast as I could. The wind blowing in my hair, the couch speeding past. I was going to succeed. But my brother decided if he had that helmet on, he too could win. He realized that if he wedged his head in my door while I was trying to slam it shut, it would be impossible for me to close it and lock him out. And so the helmet saved him. And we were together forever. I would like to say thank you to my parents for that. You're probably going, why is she telling us this story? Wasn't she talking about worship? But this is the thing. If you are me in the situation of this story, I wanted to be isolated. I wanted to be alone. I didn't want connection. I wanted to be lazy. I wanted to have apathy. I wanted to have self-pity. I wanted to totally close off from intimacy or human contact or relationship. My brother was willing to sacrifice his head, his body, for connection, relationship, and a heart connection. When we don't feel like worshiping, so put me in that situation. You were a Jenny in that situation. We need to be like Justin with the helmet and push through with all that we've got, no matter how we feel, because we want to get in sync with that rhythm and that heart. When you worship God, when you don't feel like it, you are prophesying over your spirit. You are commanding yourself, get in line with God. Sometimes when I'm on a worship set, I can do some really weird movements, and I'm so odd. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm happy with my weirdness. But a lot of times, I am moving and punching things or whatever because I'm commanding my spirit, you get in line with God. Don't run from him. Get in sync with him. Hear his heartbeat. Get in that heartbeat and stay there. Stay in his heartbeat. Prophesy over yourself. There's a quote from Dante Bow, but it says, how can we ever be silent if praise is the breakthrough? If you have any breakthrough in your life, don't run from him, run to him. Running to him with your worship is where you're going to see breakthrough happen over your family, your job, your situation, a miracle. Run to him. That's where your breakthrough is going to happen. When you think of the story of the Battle of Jericho, these ones literally, they sent the worshipers out first. They were marching around over and over again, worshiping, and the walls came down. So if worshipers could do that and a physical wall could come down, do you think if we run to him to worship, the things that we're battling with in our spirit would come crumbling down? If we could pull up the verse in Matthew, please. I want to just touch on the story of the Alabaster Jar, which we sang earlier. I'll just read this, okay? Then Jesus went to Bethany, to the home of Simon, a man Jesus had healed of leprosy. And a woman comes into the house holding an alabaster flask filled with fragrant and expensive oil, The most fanciest perfume you can think of. I can't think of one, but I'm sure it's great. Okay, so she walks in right up to Jesus, and in a lavish gesture of devotion, she pours out this oil, this perfume, and it cascades over his head as he was at the table. And when the disciples saw this, they were offended. What a total waste. We could have sold it for a great deal of money and given it to the poor. Next one. Jesus knew their thoughts and said to them, "Why are you critical of this woman? She has done a beautiful act of kindness for me. You will always have someone poor whom you can help, but you will not always have me." When she poured the fragrant oil over me, she was preparing my body for burial. I promise you that this is a wonderful gospel, spreads all over the world, the story of her lavish devotion to me. She poured out herself as a sacrifice to him, as an offering, as a gesture of worship. She's prophetically showing us she's preparing Jesus for burial. But guys, I think she was showing us something too. She was showing us that we can have a connection with Jesus in an intimate and personal way. Before Jesus died on the cross, if you wanted to access God, you needed a priest to go before you. You had to prepare a sacrifice, and only certain priests could go to God. But she broke through that, and she showed us that Jesus is a real person, and you can have that heart connection with him. When he died on that cross, that veil was ripped in two. But she was prophetically showing us that we would be able to have that personal, tangible relationship with our God. You see, we need to worship God with all that we are, holding nothing back. Because the real main reason why we have to worship him is because he is holy and he is worthy of our worship. Can I have the worship team come on up? It says in the Bible that there's angels literally just saying over and over and over again, "Holy, holy, 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 holy." He is so perfect. Holy means to be set apart, which literally means, set apart means different. It means he's undescribable. He's too amazing. He's just perfect. God is worth us worshiping him because he's worthy and he's perfect. In Greek, the word worship, well, okay, I'm going to try and pronounce this properly, but it's proskuneo, and so I probably butchered that. But it literally means, and it's written in Greek, the most common Greek word translated as worship is proskuneo. According to the Strong's Concordance, proskuneo means to kiss, as in a kiss the hand of a superior. Some scholars believe the word actually is derived from the idea of a dog licking its master's hand. I have a dog. He's a numbnut. We've trained him horribly. Dudley, that's right. But he comes up to us and he licks our hand out of affection and love. But it's also his way of going, "You're my master. You take care of me. I love you. I respect you." Sometimes he doesn't, but I'll just pretend he does. It's this visual of this dog licking this master's hand, but that's what worship is. It's us literally coming up to God. And saying, "You are God, I am not. I love you, I need you. You're good, you're kind, you're loving, you're worthy, you're holy. I'm going to worship you no matter how I feel, no matter what I've done, no matter what I'm going through. I'm going to worship you with all that I am, holding nothing back. Because I want to align to you. Because when I'm out of sync, my life is a mess. When I'm in sync with you, I'm home. I'm full of peace. I'm filled with love. I feel cherished. I feel cared for. We worship him. Because there's no one else like him. What I want us to do is, I knew this message would be kind of short tonight because I just want us to actually worship. But we're going to sing Alabaster Heart again. But I want us to pour out ourselves to him, just like that woman did with the alabaster jar. She poured out her love on him with all that she is. Give it all to him. Lay it all down and worship him because he is worthy of all of our affection and love and praise. Some of you guys might need a breakthrough in your life. You might feel stuck. You might feel like, I'm just not getting past something. I need a miracle of finances. I need a miracle of something. Whatever it is, push yourselves. Put on my brother's helmet and run to God. Don't push your heart closed and lock it away, but unlock that door and let the helmet go through. Like a bulldozer. Bulldoze through and run to his heart, because that's where you're going to have a breakthrough in your life. So can we all stand up, drop the lights? So God, here we are. We are alabaster jars. We come to you and we break ourselves open before you. We want to come and we want to dance and get in line with your heart. We want to be in your rhythm. We want to be close to you. So here we come, God. We're putting on those helmets and we're coming. We're coming to your heart. Here we come, God. Here we are. Here we are, God.
they're strange or different, you just sing them out. They mean something. They mean something to the person next to you. Sing out your song that's on your heart.
Lifted up, and my knees know it's all for your glory. I might stand with more reason to sing than to fear. You pull me from nothing, you set me on the rock. You call me by your name, make my heart whole again.
want to come on up? This is such a beautiful picture, and I want you guys to hear this.
Sorry, I'm terrified. I just wanted to share, like, God was just telling me as I was, like, worshiping that, like, when I was growing up, I would always want my, like, earthly father to be, like, happy, and I'd, like, try, like get him gifts on his, like, birthday because he was so, like, distant, and he never, like, liked anything I gave him. He was never, like, happy, it seemed, and when I was older, I wanted to, like, really do well in school, and, like, I'd tell him my results when I did well just to try and, like, make him pleased and stuff, but I just wanted to share, like, God's not like that. He's not like that at all. All he wants is our heart, and, like, when we give him our heart and worship, like, when we just lift our hands to him, he's just, like, overwhelmed with joy. He's so pleased. He's more pleased than, like, any earthly father ever could be with us, and, like, nothing else really, like, matters. Like, yeah.
He just loves us. Even when we do the worst things over and over again, constantly make a fool of ourselves. There's nothing that we could do to stop him from loving us. We try so hard to gain his approval by what we do. But all we need to do is just stop and let him love us and reflect that love back to him. It's so simple, yet it can be so hard to train ourselves to stop fighting, to make it happen on our own works. But just be with him. Gaze our eyes on him. Connect our hearts with him. Oh, how he loves us. to take this opportunity and not ask. But if you've never given your whole heart, all of who you are, to this beautiful, loving Jesus, you've never decided to live for him, can you just pop your hand up? Because I don't want to miss this opportunity. And if you've never, or if you want to do it again, just raise your hand. We would love to just pray with you at the end. But I don't want to just go past this without asking. Hold our hearts, Father, now and forever. You are trustworthy. You are kind. You are loving. You are good. You are holy. You are magnificent. You are wonderful. There are no words that can adequately describe you. They could go on and on and on. We could go on and on and on and say how amazing you are, and it would never be enough to how good and good and good and good and good and good and good you are. Let our whole life be worship and love to you. And all that we do, may it bring a sweet smelling fragrance to you. We offer our lives as worship to you because you are holy and you are worthy of all of our praise. Amen. Well, we're finished for the night, but I think we just need to do, you can go if you want, but I kind of feel like having a bit of fun because, like I said, God's fun. So we're going to do Mad in Love again because that was a new one, and I think you guys got a little bit familiar with it, so now we can really have a party. So if you were scared of that song, you can leave if you want to. But I reckon let's have a party because there's a party in heaven, so let's have a party here.
You're right.
We
Come
got
up
this?
the front.
Come on, come in the front. Let's go nuts.
I'm so puffed, guys. So puffed.
Yeah.